It's exactly 3 weeks from Christmas, and if you're still hoping to buy a natural Christmas tree, you'll want to act pretty soon.
Yeah, you might be barking up the wrong tree depending on where you shop. John Gaskins takes us to one retailer that is sapped for the season and another that is ever so greener than before.
These two 6-foot trees are all that is remaining on sale at Oak Ridge Nursery in Brandon. Almost all of their 150 total trees were gone in just 1 week.
Usually this building would be still full this time of year. Everything would be off the ground and inside, but we'd still have a good selection of probably 40 to 50 trees left.
The number of families pining for the real thing has climbed the last few years.
I think just the that old-fashioned, having the real tree inside, having the smell inside, the family going out to pick out that Christmas tree versus just pulling the box out of the garage and, putting it together.
Oak Ridge has bought trees from the same supplier in Minnesota for over 20 years. But one of the supplier's handful of tree growers recently retired. Coughlin called about a dozen other dealers in the Midwest. They were all sold out.
You're seeing a lot throughout the country. It's just less growers, so less supply. And that has created a little bit of a shortage.
Lewis Drug had the same supplier from Wisconsin for about 30 years, but that company decided to make like a tree and leave the industry this year. That didn't stump Lewis's lawn and garden buyer, Doug Schroeder, who barked up the right tree, a brand new supplier in Michigan. And would you believe it?
We were blessed to go into the season with more than we had last year.
So how did Lewis buck this evergreen trend and plant new roots with this dealer in Michigan? Well, it was able to purchase the minimum quantity required to do business. And it's paying off. Schroeder says the trees are selling fast. Of course, there are still several artificial trees that are on sale at Oak Ridge and other nurseries. They don't quite smell the same, but they are lower maintenance. You remember what Clark Griswold had to go through, don't you? In Brandon, John Gaskins, Dakota News Now.
Wow. Well, Coughlin says that because natural tree demand is on the rise the last few years, new batches are being planted, but the average Christmas tree takes several years to grow, so we'll just have to wait a few years for them to be ready. Meanwhile, industry inflation has meant the price of trees rose 10% in the last year.